The $900 billion stimulus package is now awaiting President Trump's signature. So far, he's refusing to put his name on it. And authorities in Nashville are continuing to investigate after the Christmas morning explosion.
We'll tell you how the process is like of PennDOT keeping you safe on these roads.
In high definition from your news leader, this is 1024 Action News at 11.
New at 11, the $900 billion stimulus package, which the president has criticized, was flown to Florida and is now awaiting his signature. ABC's Rachel Scott reports so far the president has refused to sign it.
The roughly $900 billion stimulus package Congress approved earlier this week is awaiting President Trump's signature. President-elect Joe Biden criticizing his continued refusal to sign the bill, writing, "This abdication of responsibility has devastating consequences." The president has been critical of the bill, which includes aid for struggling Americans and $1.4 trillion in government funding.
It really is a disgrace.
The president tweeting he has had many calls and meetings demanding Congress increase the amount of the stimulus checks from $600 to $2,000, writing, "Give our people the money." But his own team helped negotiate that bill. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin made this promise earlier this week.
People are going to see this money at the beginning of next week.
Both Democrats and Republicans urging the president to sign the bill.
When we finally thought that we'd be able to give people hope, that's what people need, hope.
I hope the president looks at this again and reaches that conclusion that the best thing to do is to sign the bill.
Supplemental unemployment benefits expire today, and if the president continues to hold off, the government shuts down Monday. The federal moratorium on evictions will end in less than a week.
We are facing the very real possibility of tens of millions of people losing their homes this winter during the height of COVID-19.
So now the bill is in the president's hands. He could sign it and get relief to the American people, or he could veto it. That would force lawmakers back to Washington to try and override the president. But if he does nothing and just hangs on to the bill for the next several days, it will expire, and then it'll be up to the next Congress to try and do this all over again and get relief to the American people. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
Here are the latest COVID-19 numbers across the state and around our region. The State Department of Health today reporting 154 new COVID-19 cases. Crawford County reporting 47 new cases. Warren County 32 new cases. Chautauqua County, New York continues to report over 3,100 cases. Ashtabula County is reporting 50 new cases on Saturday. Across the Commonwealth, an additional 7,581 new positive COVID-19 cases reported today. The total now stands at over 605,000. An additional 165 people died in the last 24 hours from COVID-19. Since March, 14,883 people have died across the Commonwealth due to the pandemic. Authorities in Nashville now have the name of a suspect that might be responsible for the Christmas morning explosion. ABC's Andrew Dimbert reports they are still working to identify the human remains found at the scene.
Authorities reviewing surveillance video of a powerful explosion in downtown Nashville on Christmas morning.
Stay back till we figure out what's going on.
The FBI is now in charge of the investigation and is still working to identify the human remains found at the scene. Sources tell ABC News authorities are searching properties associated with Anthony Quinn Warner and are working to determine if he was responsible for the explosion.
Our investigative team is turning over every stone to make sure we know as many details as possible to answer the question of who is responsible for this, and also to understand why did they do this.
Investigators say just after 1 a.m., this RV was seen parked outside the AT&T building. Hours later, police responded to a call of shots fired. When they approached the RV, they could hear a recording coming from the vehicle warning people nearby to evacuate. At 6:30 a.m., the RV exploded into a fireball, debris and smoke shooting hundreds of feet into the air. Buck McCoy was in his bed when his apartment building shook.
All the windows came in from the living room into the bedroom. The front door became unhinged.
This surveillance video from inside a nearby home shows the force of the blast. The debris field stretching for several blocks, windows shattered, buildings damaged, the police chief asking business owners and residents to be patient.
There's about 40 buildings that's been impacted, and so those buildings will have to be cleared through our codes.
Authorities looking to reassure residents.
The team that's behind me and the folks that they represent are doing everything we can to find out what happened here, to get the answers that you deserve, and to make sure that we're all safe.
First responders and 6 police officers being hailed as heroes after rushing in to evacuate the area. Remarkably, only 3 people suffered minor injuries. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington, D.C.
Some tense moments for Erie fire crews as a gas leak forced the evacuation of a structure Saturday night. The story's new tonight at 11 o'clock. Crews were called to the 400 block of East 38th Street around 8:30 Saturday night for reports of a gas leak. National Fuel and Penelec crews were called to the scene. Both the westbound and eastbound lanes of 38th Street remain closed at this time. A total of 4 houses were evacuating. That's according to Erie County 911. The residents left in private vehicles to seek shelter while crews were on scene. And there's no word on a cause right now, and no illnesses were reported. The roads were being cleared out by the hour as plowers worked to plow through this winter challenge. Jocelyn Person spoke with some plow operators with PennDOT to see how the crew has been managing during this winter snowstorm challenge.
As the snow begins to die down, many operators are working around the clock to maintain clearer roads. Each driver has a beat to cover from major routes to small ones, and they all plow for almost 24 hours when there's a brutal winter storm like this one that came for the holidays.
Being away from your family Christmas Eve and Christmas, it's tough, but you know, that's our job, to keep your roads open for emergency vehicles and you know, people getting to where they have to go.
While the operators plow through the roads, the key to making the snow and ice sheet dissolves are the different kind of salt. It's these kinds of salt that makes it easier for everyone to drive safely on the roads. While there are visibility challenges these drivers have gone through, there are also mental challenges. It takes a lot of mental preparation to plow the roads every second and hour of the day, especially during a time where it's the holiday season.
I started off doing it myself. I know what they go through. I can't imagine doing that for a long duration, like 20, 30 years. It's pretty impressive. You got to have a lot of respect for those guys out there.
These workers would go to other parts of the state to help other areas that may have a hard time clearing the roads.
They rely on us, you know, we have the experience with the snow to go other parts of the state, you know, so, you know, we take pride in that.
Jocelyn Person, Jet 24, Action News.
A one-vehicle accident in Waterford Saturday afternoon slowed traffic to a crawl. The crash was reported shortly before 3:30 on Union Road and Route 97 South. When crews arrived, they found a vehicle on its roof. No injuries were reported. According to Erie County 911, slick roads may be to blame for this accident. And coming up on Jet 24 Action News at 11 o'clock, the city's Bureau